leads up to the back end of where I was at when I shot that buck at the end of October. I never found it. And I just got this weird feeling that I should turn around, take this all the way back to the river and see if I can cross. I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, I don't know why, but that was way scarier than I thought it was going to be. I'm just going to go straight to the area that I had last blood and just lost all hope in the track. And just go from there. Use that time while I'm grid searching the scout. And then if I don't come up with anything, just scout my way back, grab these cameras, hopefully learn something new. This looks like a licking branch. Look at this. Okay, and I just walked in from this way. I'm pretty much right where I accessed into this. I got a water edge right here. So they're traveling up and down this way. And this is going towards where I shot that buck. That's what I was looking for. There had to have been a main trail that they at least use most of the time coming through this area. That scrape tree is right there. So they'd come this way and hit that and keep on working their way through. If they're gonna do a big loop around this, this would be part of it. Especially running the transition over there. Dang it, dude. I stopped bringing my pistol with me years ago because I never see coyotes when I'm scouting. I'm never really trying to be quiet. Here I am standing here trying to figure out how I'm going to cross this ice, and I look up and here's this coyote just walking. Wasn't even running. Couldn't get my GoPro up in time because eventually when he started trotting, when I started moving. Dang it, man. It would have been a heck of a shot with a pistol, but I'd have slung it. Absolutely. Ah, dang. Let's go get his tracks. Maybe where he crossed the water is where I can cross. There's a ton of coyote tracks out here too. God dang it, man. I should just come out here and hunt. There they go. Got a set coming this way, but those are his right there. Going that way. I don't think I have ever been to this part. Pretty sure I haven't. Here's a real good historic road. Looks like another one up here. Ooh, last tore up. Look at this. That's good. It's just over my knee. It's not the biggest guy. But I got that historic over there. I got that's from this year. Looks like early season. There's another historic right here. That's rubbed up right next to it. That's rubbed up, that's historic. Alright. And this is like kind of a small peninsula, and you can tell it's probably real thick in here during the early season, and that's what all of these rubs are looking like, especially that one that's really tore up over here, that one right there. So I can see something bedding right on this peninsula. The peninsula actually goes even farther back, so I'll go up there and I'll check that. But it looks like there might be another terrain like peninsula where there might not be water, but it's just how there's a gap between the sections of timber and whatnot. So I'll go down here. I'm sure I'm not missing anything, but that's a perfect little bedding area. See how thick that is? Especially when it's holding its leaves. So I'm gonna get that marked. And the food's only a few hundred yards away. You know, it's probably only 300-400 yards away. It's just got to cross a couple bodies of water. That's nothing. Not too much historic sign in here. but there's for sure a rub right here. There you go. Okay, so that rub and the rub on the other end that I was talking about look the exact same. To me, what that says is that on a wind that is blowing from his back, so he can look into the timber from that end, he's going to bed that way, which would make it, it would technically be a northwest wind. So on the end that I was just at, where I found that real tore up rub, that would be a northwest wind bedding. He'd be on that peninsula looking towards the timber. If that wind switches on him, or it's just a different wind in general, and he has a northeast wind, he's going to come to this end with the wind at his back looking into the timber. It's the same height, the same kind of rub. And it's from early season, this last season. Oh, there's a, holy moly, what's going on over here? These look like ancient. Look at these historic rubs. Bam, bam, bam. Something was probably bedded here way back in the day. Throwing down a lot of sign. Yeah, look at this tree. But it's rubbed all the way around it, all of this. Okay. It's real old. Nothing's hit it in a long time, but just from all that sign in that general area, you can tell that it holds bucks. See, there's a faint trail that leads straight ahead of me here. Look at this. Again, around the same time frame, early season. They're not that far from food. Looks like it stays real thick going that way. I need to go this way. Oh, I'm gonna check this out anyway. Oh, there's a good rub up here. It's getting thicker up here too. Man, look at this. So they've got a thick spot over here, a thick spot in that corner, a thick spot in that corner, and then it just darts up that way. That's the way I went, or that's the way that I shot my buck. So let's check out this corner and see what's behind it as well. There's a trail right there, you can see. Comes up this way. Look at this rub. Same height, same time frame. It's the same buck, just using this area. There's going to be another rub up here. Look at this. This is a good one though. That's a little bit higher. I don't think it was hit this last season. This was definitely hit last season. Same rub, same height, same time frame. He's in here early season, and he's just using this general area. I'm sure I've got oaks everywhere in here. I haven't even checked for that yet, but I'm sure he's just hiding out in here until all the leaves and timber go down and the pressure kicks up. Like I said, they're not far from food at all, and if anybody tries to cross the water, they're going to be able to hear him at least. Just got to find a way to get in here without spooking them. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to find his individual bed. He can bed anywhere in here. All this deadfall, I just need to know how far away I need to set up and where I need to set up out there and how to get out there without spooking him. If he's bedded on this end, this would be my best chance to get him, because the only way I know how to access right now is the way that I came in, and I can creep through that real quiet, especially during the season, and get set up. Look at this guy. Same height, same rub. I can see him laying right there, right in that little pocket. He can look out this way with the wind blowing from the timber that I'm talking about, which could throw things off, or he's looking this way with the wind blowing from this opening. The grass is going to be real tall. Nothing out there is going to be able to see him. Now, where can I get in here and set up at? That's going to be tough. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. My access is going to have to be from this way. For right now, it's going to have to be from this way. So when I hunt this spot, I'm going to have to hunt this spot banking on the fact that he's going to be bedded down in the corner that I just came from with a wind that's blowing into this patch of timber. hoping he gets out of his bed in the afternoon and comes in here and feeds on these oaks. This is going to be the tree that I'm going to go in. I only need to get about 1, 2, 3 sticks high, sorry, to get there. And just expect him to work out here. If he works the edge down there, I'm looking at like a 35-40 yard shot. But if he works his way through the middle where it stays thick, this is going to have cover, or it's going to have leaves anyway. You can see the trail that comes right down the middle, and it swings past this tree and it heads out towards all of the ag. I might even get a camera in here when it gets later into the summer, just to try to catch anything walking through this opening right here. Look at this. You got these guys. Historic. It's been, I don't know if it's been worked from last season, but it's fresher than that. We're on a peninsula. You can see where it pinches down on this side. It opens up. Everything pinches right here. Same little corner here that I was just talking about, how it pinches down right here. Look at this guy. That is over my hip. See, I just came from right there. He stepped all the way into these logs just to rub that guy. Oh, there's some historics on that back there behind it. There's a historic back there. I gotta be. Oh my god, here's another historic, a really good one. 2 of them. That one, that's been hit. All of those have been hit. I could even see something laying right here. Just laying down in here again when it's got cover. It's historic. Hopped onto this trail. The trail actually curls around and shoots off this way, but it leads up to where I set up on that buck. Man, I'm having a hard time figuring out what tree I was in, but I know that he came down running this way. So let's see if we can't figure something out. Also keeping an eye out to see if there's any new sign in here from last year. And this is actually the area that I filmed. It looked like a pretty decent 3-year-old. Nothing good. A lot of historic sign, which isn't bad, but I'm heading down to where this timber pinches down. There's a historic one right here. I'm essentially just going to kind of grid search this whole area that I'm in right now, looking for good sign, as well as possibly where my buck went and laid down and died. There's a point that leads out to an island. I'm hoping that's where he ended up at. Alright, made it to that island. Doesn't really look like it's from this year though. Just a lot of historic. Nothing fresh. That island was a dud. Tip of the peninsula was a dud. However, here's an old historic. You can see where there's trails running down through here. And I imagine most of the pressure is going to be on that bigger chunk of timber. This thin strip could hold them. There's a good trail leading down the center of it. Here, yeah, see there's a historic right there. It makes sense, the water edge is over there. They don't have to worry about anything coming from one side of them. Work my way back up to where I came from and scout my way back. It's getting a little late. Holy moly, I found sign from last year. Rub. 2-year-old. It's got rubbed up as well. There's another historic up there, and another one behind it. Okay, so they're traveling through here. There's another historic here. Oh, that's all rubbed up. So yeah, they're running the edge of this down this peninsula to that island, and then probably crossing, because it's wide open with water over there, and most of the hunting pressure is going to be over there. And then this transition out here will lead me right back to where I shot that buck. And historic. There is tons of historic sign in here. Not a lot of sign from last year though. I finally found the tree that I was in that night. So I was up there, tucked in behind all that thick stuff. I shot him out here and he ran around that way, but that is everything that I just combed through. So running out of daylight, I want to try to learn something new. So the day that I seen that bigger buck, he was standing right here. Ended up working his way down towards me once it got too dark, and then he cut across. He went this way, so I want to see what we got going on over here. The buck that I shot walked out here, walked this way. There's a nice historic right here. Real nice. One behind it too. I said that in the video, but the night that I shot that buck, I pointed to the strip of timber and I said, it's so open out here, really the only way that they can cross without being seen is going to be through this thick timber right here. We essentially done a loop. Started coming down this way. There was a small historic rub back there, nothing crazy. But I'm getting up towards this. These haven't been worked in a while either. But they're good. That one's pretty tall. Looks like they worked that one too. And the night that that buck worked its way down to me, it stopped at like probably 50-60 yards and then cut straight across that slough I was talking about. Came through this way. Alright, so those are the rubs that I was just showing you. I mentioned before I came down this way that they could be cutting across and hitting the chunk of timber over there. When I look at my map, that's the chunk of timber that I came in through. So, I'm a little bit turned around in here. And the ag field is literally less than 100 yards away. Alright. So that buck was just going to get food. He had to have worked his way from that peninsula. Makes things a little different, especially access. I think I can access through this with my waders. No problem. But yet again, I'm not finding the sign that I want to find. And I definitely haven't found any sign that the buck that I filmed that night was laying down. Oh, I just came from way over there. Just kind of doing a loop around this, trying to see if there's any trails cutting to and from these chunks of timber. Got way out here though, finally found sign. It's just old historic sign once again. I don't know if this area just gets a ton of pressure and I just didn't run into it or what, but this little thicket here is probably gonna be the last thing that I scout. I'll work my way around it, work back through. Other than not finding my buck, the scouting was kind of uneventful as well. Very little sign. God, you would think that something would be up here. It's like a natural high ground. It raises up right here. Nice cut of the tracks. That's been rubbed a little bit. Just walked around the edge of this. Just peeked into here just to see if I couldn't see anything. This is that high spot that I was talking about. Here's a rub from last year. Here. There's one behind it from last year as well. Back there. He's not rubbing much. If he's staying in here, he's not rubbing a whole lot. A couple rubs up here. Oh, look at this. Historic. Makes you wonder if they are bedding up here. Just not leaving a lot of sign. There's a rub. Stepped right on her.